Yo, okay, we got to talk about this. EA, man, comes out with this tweet yesterday at 6:30, and I can't tell. I honestly can't tell if it's just a big oof, like, oh my, like, the person that tweeted this just did not understand, like, what they create, the games that they make at EA, or this is actually a big ploy to get some, bad press. There's no such thing as bad press. No matter what, people are talking about you, whether it's good or bad. But my God, man, this tweet. Now, this is a meme. There are 10, but it's something negative at the end. I've been seeing, Titanfall memes. I've been seeing memes here and there, Star Wars, whatever it might be, pop culture, movie, games. But this is a meme that's been going on around for some time now. There are 10, but there's something negative. Well, for EA, apparently it's 6:30 late last night. I say late last night. I got kids, 8 o'clock. That's bedtime for me, so 6:30. Getting close on late for me, but EA tweets this out. They're a 10, but they only like playing single player games. Now, I don't know, again, like I said, I don't know if this is just a big oof, like the person that controls the EA Twitter account just doesn't know what EA creates, like the studios that are underneath it, create for the company. Or this is just, hey, you know what? This is building up some news. This is building up people talking about it. I'm talking about it right now. People are going to be making content, making videos, tweets. The amount of people tweeted about this thing. I mean, even me, I got my little licks in about there are 10, but they have a sense of pride and accomplishment, or there are 10, but they support EA's predatory microtransactions. So a lot of people were getting in on this, and I want to talk about that. I want to talk about the reactions with this tweet, because again, it's hard to kind of decipher exactly what this is. Is it a big oops, type of moment for EA, whoever does the EA Twitter account, or is this again something that people are just using as a, hey, people are talking about EA, people, are bringing EA up, it's going up in the algorithm and stuff like that. Which one is it? And honestly, it is crazy to see the different amount of reactions, not only from content creators, but developers within EA, whether it's, Respawn or so many others that are just like reacting going, what the hell is this tweet? And we'll start off with Actman. I mean, of course, the Actman comes in here hot with Jedi Survivor and Jedi Fallen Order. I mean, I don't understand. Like, Respawn made Jedi Fallen Order. Like, for several years, EA was talking about how, single player games are dead. It's only games of service. And then they created Anthem. They just took a giant dump on that. I mean, even recently, Battlefield 2042, DICE is trying everything they possibly can to raise that game from the dead. But it's funny to know that Respawn developed Jedi Fallen Order, and it became a great success. People enjoyed that game, and now they already have a sequel, Jedi Survivor, coming up. And the Actman's like, do you even understand? Like, with this tweet of they only like playing single player games. Do you realize what games are made under EA? I don't know if they do, but even Vince Zampella. Now, I got mixed opinions about Vince Zampella, killing off the Titanfall franchise. They got Apex, but you know what? I'm a little bitter by that. But even Vince Zampella does the facepalm, man. I mean, he is the president. He's the CEO of Respawn. He's getting into DICE now to try to resurrect, the Battlefield franchise after 2042. And he's even coming out going like, what the hell is this? Again, it's very hard to decipher. Is this something that somebody was just very ignorant in, making this tweet? EA does make single player games. Now, they do have the most predatory microtransactions when it comes to sports games and so many other, loot box, BS stuff, whatever, cosmetic items, stuff like that. EA is known for that. I mean, even with the amount of damage that Battlefront 2 did. But EA does make single-player games, like, once at a time, even the Army of Two, man, my God, Army of Two, man, that was a great single-player game. EA has made great single-player games. That's why it just makes this tweet just, what the hell is this person thinking? It's just so odd to see that. And even with this person. So Patrick, he was coming out saying, thinking about working until midnight for the better part of a year to help ship Mass Effect 2. Again, even people that work for EA, worked under these studios, BioWare, Respawn, and so many others, coming out going, I mean, we made single player games and they were successes for the company. I don't know. That's why, to me, like, it could be a possibility that, this is just, bad publicity. There's no such thing as bad publicity. And, it's publicity nonetheless. But it honestly makes me think of looking at this and seeing Vince Zampella as well as developers coming out going, Come again? Like what the hell is this tweet? So even Tom Henderson came out with something saying they're a 10, but they don't give their developers the time and support they need. And we've been hearing that for quite some time when it comes to EA games. I mean, again, with the most recent game with Battlefield 2042 and how that game was rushed out. Anthem, I mean, again, a great example of a game that just kind of got dropped. Oh my God, Battlefront 2. Battlefront 2 started becoming a great game, great multiplayer game, had a great single player, just overall good game that could have seen a lot more expansions onto it. But for some reason, EA just goes, hey, you know what? We're going to take the support from Battlefield 5 and Battlefront 2, and we're going to move them over to Battlefield 2042. And then we're not going to give them enough time or even do anything whatsoever when it comes to actually making a great game on release. It's just very odd to see the reaction. Even Angry Joe coming out saying, I haven't commented on this dumb ass, yet because it seems too stupid to not be purposefully marketing ploy for any kind of attention, even negative. But I wouldn't put it past EA to actually be this effing tone deaf. So who knows? Either way, it's still EA being EA, dumb as hell. So again, that's the same kind of aspect that I'm thinking about is that, again, there's no such thing as bad publicity. People are going to be talking about it. People are going to be making videos, tweeting about it. EA is getting their name out there. They're getting recognition. I mean, I imagine, again, it's high up in the Google algorithm with people looking stuff up with the amount of different videos and stuff like that of people talking about this thing. Again, it's very odd. You can't really tell exactly if this is a big oof or a marketing ploy, kind of like what Angry Joe is saying. So I wanted to actually look into the amount of different single player games out there that's under EA's catalog. And again, it just does not make sense. If this is not just a big oof and the person that controls the EA Twitter account just didn't know, it's just like, I Googled single player games made by EA, and they have legitimately a EA single player games list of different things. That has things like Madden, that are multiplayer games. They do have multiplayer games on here that can be played single player. But again, even when looking at this list and seeing like Madden, like seeing sport games and understanding how predatorial those games are when it comes to microtransactions and stuff like that, the gripes of that I can totally understand. But with this not making single player games or enjoying single player games, it's like, my man, you have the Sims. You have the Sims IP. Crysis. I mean, my God, we can keep just going through these different things. I mentioned Army of Two, which I think was a great franchise that they just killed off. But you have Mass Effect. I mean, my God, Mass Effect. I mean, you literally... one of the best trilogies in video gaming of all time, Mass Effect, besides the ending. You made the Legendary Edition, updated HD, whatever edition of Mass Effect with all the DLC. Like, that came out recently with that last year or so. Star Wars Squadrons. Again, you have this, Star Wars IP for a lot of the stuff. You had the rights to it. Command and Conquer. Jedi Fallen Order. Again, more Sims. Again, this is why it's hard to believe. Oh, there's Anthem. Yeah, man, there's, even Battlefield 5, it's so funny to know, like, how bad Battlefield 5 came out, with the mess that it was released with, but eventually Battlefield 5 was a really good Battlefield game, and again, they dropped support from that, so it's so funny to know that we can go on and on and on and see a piss load of sports games, and how bad, again, like I said, the microtransactions are with this. But to see the list going on and on of different single-player games, Battlefront 2! EA dropped support for Battlefront 2 and Battlefield 5, two games that had a rough launch and got better over time and put that effort into 2042. And then they want to come out here and complain that but they only play single-player games. Dude, it's insane. It's still, again, as we are just going through, Mass Effect dropped Titanfall 2, for the love of Almighty. Titanfall 2. I mean, it's all about the Benjamins, man. It's all about the green. That's the reason why Titanfall got dropped on its head. Apex Legends makes way more money than Titanfall could. But it's funny to know, even with Titanfall, EA comes out with this thing, they're a 10, but they only enjoy single-player games. You have Titanfall out here, where EA Respawn, dropped support of the game, and the fan base is taking care of Titanfall 2 and adding stuff into that game that the studio or EA just didn't want to do. It's insane to know exactly where EA is sitting at with just the amount of games. The amount of games out here that are single player, But the quality of care that these games get are insane. That EA would come out with this stupid tweet. So anyway, last thing, let's talk about this. Studios that EA has killed. All right. So we want to tweet this thing out about there are 10, but they only like playing single player games. All right, let's go down this rabbit hole. If you guys don't know, EA has bought in so many studios and just killed them right then and there. And if you don't know, we're going to be going through this. I will link this in the description below if you guys want to check it out. I just kind of want to go through some of the ones that I noticed that I'm like, oh, yeah, could have been a great thing. Pandemic Studios, the best Battlefront series back in the day, in the 2000s. Man, Pandemic, great, fantastic. Hey, you know what, EA, let's cut it loose. Yeah, man, it's ridiculous. We're just going through stuff. I mean, they have a mobile, I think this is a mobile Sims. I mean, they killed the studio from that. Black Box Games killed that. DreamWorks, Medal of Honor. They were trying to revive Medal of Honor and be a competitor for Call of Duty. Just wasn't successful. Damn, just nixed it right then and there. Just killed it off. I mean, Victory Games. I mean, they've been trying to get Command & Conquer back up on its feet with different studios picking up the pieces. Mac Software. I'm not understanding. I mean, this is Sims, for God's sakes, but that's been killed off. Lastly, let's go into this. Visceral Games. My God, they even have a picture of Dead Space on here, which they plan on remaking, but I mean, I'm pretty sure Visceral Game was also making one of the newest Star Wars games coming out. I think it was called 1313. But apparently, you know, it was a single player game. EA just was not going to be making money off of it, so they just decided, hey, you know what? Let's just drop Visceral Games and not make the game. Single player games don't make money, man. They don't make the money. It's all about games as a service. You know, we'll update games. We'll release a really crappy product, and then we'll fix it on later down the lines. We'll include microtransactions. You know, honestly, look, this is just thinking about that. It's funny to know that Battlefield 2042 comes out in the weakest state possible. They're trying to fix it, trying to update the maps, which is going to take so damn long. But you know what's so funny is that a battle pass and the cosmetic items got introduced in the game. So they're trying to make sure the game is playable, but they also want to make some money off of it. They won't make the game fun, but damn it, they'll plug in the microtransaction to make sure they can make a couple bucks here and there from players that apparently want to spend money in a game that I'm assuming is going to be just like Battlefront 2, just like Battlefield 5, and they're going to be killed off by EA to start up another Battlefield game. So anyway, let me know in the comments below, you guys. What do you guys think about this? What do you guys think about this tweet? There are 10, but they only play single player games. What do you guys think about that? Let me know in the comments below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please have a great rest of the day. Look forward to talking to you guys all next time.